dolly lovers, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on my future videos. And if you're an old friend of mine, welcome back and thank you for joining me for another one of my dolly videos. So as I have promised, I am back with a 2021 Reborn doll collection video, and it has been quite a while since I showed you guys all the babies I have in my collection, and a lot has changed since the last time I did a collection video. So I wanted to update y'all and share with you how my collection is going and where I hope it lands in the future. But before I get started, firstly, I just want to say I am so grateful to be a part of this hobby, because I think some people take it for granted that these dolls are a luxury, and the fact that I was able to keep my collectibles during a pandemic right now is just a blessing, because I know a lot of people had to give up a lot of their prized possessions just to make ends meet and do what they had to do for their family. I have been there before, but I am definitely grateful to have made it to 2021 and been able to keep my babies, and not only keep them but add some to my collection. So don't doubt for a second that I am not grateful or I take it for granted. This is a dream of mine that I've had since I was a little girl, so I'm just thankful every day that you know, they bring a smile to my face, and I'm glad to have them. So this isn't a video to brag or show how many I have or anything crazy like that. I'm just sharing my collection with friends who may be interested in seeing who all I have in my little nursery. So without further ado, we'll jump right in, and I'm starting off with this cutie, and her name is Song Kai. So I'm going to be introducing everybody just in case whoever's watching may be new to my channel and they don't know who is who. But this little girlie I have named Song Kai. Song Kai is of Japanese American descent, and she is the Teegan sculpt by Ping Lau, and I had the pleasure of working with Miss Mary Kate Bashline McCormack of Hill Country Reborn Tots, who was the artist of this baby. So I have had a few toddlers come and go out of my collection over the years, but I must say she is one of my favorites, and she is the only toddler that I currently have in my collection. She is actually on the smaller end of toddler size. She actually can wear, the smallest size she can wear is around 6 months, and the largest size is about 12. Some 18 months she can get away with, but I pretty much buy 6 to 12 for her. And she has a small little size 2 foot. So I feel like she is the perfect size toddler for me. She's not too big, but still big enough to dress in some of the cuter, you know, more big girl clothes. So she is really, really fun. And next I'm going to move along down here to this little cutie you guys probably didn't even know was down here. This is my little Ellory Grace. Ellory Grace is one of the newest babies to my little nursery, and she is the Genesis full body silicone sculpt by Doris Moyers-Hornborgen. So if you guys are interested in knowing any more information about these doll sculpts, I will be leaving all the names and sculpts and artists down below in the description so you can reference back to that. But this cutie was so lovingly gifted to me by my bestie in the doll hobby, Miss Janae Avery. Hey Janae, if you're watching this, I love you, girl. I love you and wish so many blessings on you, because you have definitely blessed me with this silicone baby. Like, my mind is still blown. But she is just so fun. Janae painted this beautiful baby, and it was her first silicone she's ever painted, so I'm pretty proud to own it. I'm just speechless, to be honest. I had to break up the positioning of the reborn babies, of course, because I'm learning that, you know, silicone dolls cannot be in too close proximity to vinyl dolls and things of that nature. So I didn't want to try and crowd all the babies into one shot. So we're just going to break it up a little bit. So I have little Ellory Grace here in her baby nest, seated by her big sister, and she's just taking a snooze. She looks so peaceful. But yes, she is preemie sized, if any of you guys were wondering. But I will say that in comparison to vinyl reborn dolls, she almost looks like she could be newborn size. So there is a little bit of variation there between, you know, a preemie vinyl and a preemie silicone doll, but we can get into that in another video. But I did want to introduce my little Ellory Grace. She is my pride and joy. She's so special to me. But now that we have talked about these two, which I find to be two really special babies, a toddler and a silicone, now I'm going to go over to the crib and we'll get a look at the majority of my collection, which are newborn sized vinyl reborn babies. Alright, reborn friends, so we are over by my dolly crib, and this is pretty much my main display area for my dolls. Over the last year or so, I have gravitated towards newborn sized dolls, and honestly, I never thought I would be uttering those words. I have sold a few babies, and then over time I realized that I really do love the newborn size. And not only that, I really just like the way they all look together. They all look kind of cohesive. And not only that, but it makes it easier on the collection of clothes and accessories I have, because they all can fit the same size stuff. Like even some of the girl stuff that I put on Adrian. So it's just really nice and it makes it easy. So that's one turn of events that my collection has underwent, that I don't have a wide variety of different size reborns anymore. The majority of them are newborn or small newborn size. So I am going to start on the left side here. And I'm going to insert some video clips of each baby up close so you guys can see their pretty little faces. But the first baby I have here on the left is my newest addition to the family. She came only like a week ago. I'm just so happy to get her. Her name is Wilhelmina, and I call her Winnie as a nickname. She is the Stanley Oliver sculpt by Chenza Care, or Chenza's Dolls, and she was lovingly reborn by Original Valerie on Instagram. So I'm trying to remember all these details from memory. I didn't write any notes, so I will be putting captions up in the video just in case I stumble along or I forget something. But yes, this cutie is my newest baby, and she's just so sweet. If you guys didn't know already, this particular sculpt was made to depict a baby with Down syndrome. So she is pretty unique. Next, I have my Robyn Cassidy. And Robyn is the LouLou sculpt by Joanna Kazmierczak, and she was reborn by my dear friend Lauren Speech Green of Pura Vida Babies. It was so awesome getting this baby done by Lauren, because I had admired her for a very long time. I found her a long time ago on YouTube when she was making YouTube videos about her painting and weighing reborn dolls. And this was around the time when I first got my first reborn doll and restarted my collection, and I just fell in love with her. I just thought she was the coolest person ever, and I still do. I still can't believe that we're actually friends, and she talks to me and she texts me and stuff. So Lauren, if you're watching this, I love you, girl. I love your work, and I am just so honored to have your artwork in my collection. Next to Robyn, I have Courtney London. And let me tell you, it took me a while to run down Courtney London sculpt. This is the Bountiful baby sculpt, Joanna asleep. And I don't know what came over me, but I realized that this sculpt reminded me so much of the Matilda sculpt by Joanna Kazmierczak, and I missed out on that one, and it is kind of a grail baby for me. So her face reminded me so much of Matilda, and I had to have her. Courtney was reborn by Miss Kat Johnson of Kat Creations Silicones and Reborns, and she is beautiful. I feel like Kat has a distinctive painting style with the way she does the darker and lighter skin tone throughout the baby's limbs. It's not just one wash of color, and I love her work. I am honored to have her work in my collection. Her hair rooting is impeccable. Love my Kat Creations babies. So that is Courtney's details. And next to Courtney, she has her little brother, Adrian Davis. Adrian Davis is the only baby boy in my collection now. So if you guys have been around for a while, you know that Trevor James was the love of my life, but he has found a new mommy, and my collection has gone in a different direction. So he actually made it to his new home this past week, so I'm really happy for him. But currently Adrian is my only boy, and for the foreseeable future he may be my only boy forever, because I don't foresee me collecting any boys, but that could change if the right sculpt comes along. And yes, if you are not seeing double, this is the LouLou sculpt by Joanna Kazmierczak again. So yes, I have two LouLou sculpts in my collection, and I never thought I would be that reborn collector to fall in love with a sculpt so much that I'd want to pay to have another one done. So I understand those reborn moms now who have 2 and 3 and 4 and multiples of the same sculpt. But the most magical thing about it is that none of them look alike. I don't think Robyn and Adrian look alike at all, even though they're the exact same sculpt, and I just think that's so awesome. Adrian was also created by Kat Johnson of Kat Creations Reborn, so I have 2 beautiful babies by her nursery. And last on the end, I would like to say my star of the show is Mila Racquel. She is my Sailor Rose sculpt by Cassie Brace, and she was also reborn by Original Valerie on Instagram. And Mila is exceptionally special because she is a baby depicted to have infantile hemangioma, which is a skin condition that some babies have at birth, and that could dissipate and go away by the age of 5. So she is definitely special. I feel like overall my collection is pretty unique. I think everyone's collection is unique, honestly. I like seeing all the different sculpts, and sometimes we could all have the same sculpts, but all the babies look unique in their own way, and that is one of the things I love most about this hobby. So that is my collection in its entirety, you guys. And I hope you enjoyed seeing them. So I'm going to move on to the changing table, and we're going to take a look at what may be waiting over there for us. So we have moseyed on over to the changing table, and who do we have here? We have our blank Kiko sculpt by Georgia Piggott of Piggott's Playpen. She is number 240 out of 550, and you guys, I went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth again over whether I wanted to keep her, and I'm not even sure why. It's like after Winnie came, I felt whole. Like, I felt like my collection didn't need any more babies, and it was perfect the way that it was. But I actually purchased the Stanley Oliver sculpt and Kiko sculpt at the same time, with the intent of getting a reborn baby girl of Japanese American descent, reborn, so Song could have a little sister. Well, at one point I listed this sculpt for sale, and after she didn't sell even at my lowest price, which was $90, which is super cheap for a limited edition anything, after she didn't sell and Reborn Daddy suggested, why don't you just keep her and save her and get her done for yourself like you intended. So that is what I am going to do. I am not certain when she is going to get done, if it's going to be this year or later next year. Only time will tell, but I'm thinking I'm going to keep her. I do believe she will fit newborn size clothes. I'm really hoping that her size isn't too much different from the babies I already have, because at this point I am so in love with seeing all these little newborn babies together. I really don't want to divert from that. But Kiko is so cute, and forgive me if I am pronouncing the name incorrectly. Anybody who knows Japanese or knows how to pronounce the name correctly, feel free to share in the comments. But she is just so cute, and I had already made up in my mind it was going to be a girl. I have bounced around some name ideas, none just yet, as I am not certain exactly until I see her face done. One artist has already recommended their services to me, that they'd be willing to work on her. So I am just at this time saving money. This year is supposed to be my no-buy year, and man, it is hard. It is really hard, because I see a lot of collectors parting ways with their dolls to trade up for silicones or what have you, and man, you guys have some beautiful dolls in your collection, and I honestly wish I could just snatch them all up and bring them all home with me. But this year, me and Reborn Daddy kind of made a pact that we'd focus on saving money and put back the money we save into our home, some things we'd like to get accomplished, you know, long-term goals for our home. And not only that, to take care of our health and, you know, have all that straight as much as possible. So the money has been placed elsewhere. So for now, Kiko will be just a little kit stored away. But these are my reborn plans for the future. I know a couple of people will have questions on, would I be willing to add more silicone babies to my collection, or will I be adding more toddlers? Would I want a toddler boy? And yes and no to some of those questions. As far as silicone goes, it's been a very short amount of time that I've been learning about silicone, and I have already made up in my mind that Ellory is probably going to be my one and only. There is so many reasons why I have come to that decision, and if you guys are interested in my reasoning for that, we can totally have a whole video dedicated to talking about silicones and what I think about them, because y'all, I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts about silicones, but as far as I can see, Ellory will be my one and only, and she will be spoiled rotten just like the other babies. But as far as toddlers, I honestly wouldn't mind another toddler baby, but they would have to be the same size as Song. I would love to have a boy, but then that would put me in the category of having to collect boy clothes for him, and so I don't know. That's just a whole nother investment that I'm not willing to go for right now. So right now, I think Song would be the only toddler I have. But overall, that is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and my updates. And I would love to see Reborn doll collection videos for all of you guys, because it's sometimes hard to keep up with all the babies y'all have. But I'll see you in the next video. Bye.